Good evening, everyone. How are you? Hello.
Yes, yes. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Hina Imtiaz here, and I will teach you about sustainable finance today. This session is about Unit 8 and entitled as Sustainable Finance. So, can you please introduce yourself one by one, please? Yeah, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, this is Wes Khalid with you. And
Okay.
currently, this is the first lecture I believe I am joining for this. Right now, I am in KSA and currently working as a HSE manager on a
Okay.
salmon project. Yes, this is all about me.
Okay. So, this is your first session.
Yes,
Assalamualaikum.
this is my
My name
first
is
lecture.
Yeah, yeah, please. Mr. Awais, this is your first session?
No, yes, yes, this is my first session.
Okay. So next we have Mr. Shoaib or Sohaib. It's Mr. Shoaib, I guess so. So
yes,
please,
my name is Shoaib Khan, and currently I'm working as an environmental engineer in the KSA at Red Sea project.
uh, I'm very glad to meet both of you, and I hope that further participants will join us in few minutes. So I'm going to start the session. Okay. So first of all, I want to tell you that this is International Diploma of Level 7 in Environmental and Sustainability Management. Level 7 means if you want to opt research thesis from any university, you will be awarded an master's degree as well after taking this course. And uh, more about the course structure, I want to tell you that there are four mandatory units: fundamental of sustainability, environmental science and energy transition, environmental management in organizations, and research methods. These are all four mandatory units, and the, from the optional units, you have to do two more units. You have to opt it and you have to solve the assessments as well. And for those assessments, each and every unit will be described in these sessions. So, first of all, you see that if you have completed all these four mandatory units, then your only task will be you have to take two optional units as well. Okay. So this diploma is basically consist of four mandatory units and five optional units, but you have to pick two units from these five optional units as well. So today we will discuss about the unit 8, which is sustainable finance. Okay. So, can you please tell me about your idea and what is sustainable finance? What does it mean, sustainable finance?
Yeah, finance, as it's clear by name itself, that you are investing or purchasing which is favorable in term of environment, like green purchasing or like this, or using the resources in a way
Yeah,
that
yeah. Please continue.
or using the resources to ensure that they are available for the future generation as well,
Yeah,
for having
absolutely right.
accountability.
Yeah, absolutely right. Uh, you are right, Mr. Awais. So basically, sustainable finance is the integration of the environment, social, and governance as well. And these these sustainable finance term means that we have to integrate all these three factors: environment, society, and the governance. and these are consideration into the financial services and the investment decisions as well. And this practice not only aims to promote the long term environmental benefits and the social equity, but also seeks to offer the substantial economic growth as well. We don't uh, take one pillar, so that we don't take one pillar to work on. We have to take all the three pillars of the sustainability, in which we have to include the environment, society, and economics as well. Okay, so in sustainable finance took up all these pillars, these three pillars, and it's mean that we have to we want to that each and every pillar starts to growth, and so that it will ultimately uh, affect the our country economic conditions and prosperity as well. And so, as of 2020, the global ESGs means environmental, social, and governance. As of the 2020, the global ESG assets are on a track to exceed 53 trillions by 2025, representing more than a third of the 140.5 trillion in different projects. And I will discuss the real life examples as well, that how these companies are working by using this sustainable finance, and how these companies are so successful and contributing to the progress of the environment, and contributing to the economics of the country as well. So, what does sustainable finance mean? It's mean we have to consider the environment and economics as well, and it aims to support projects that not only provide financial returns, but also benefit the society and the environment.
Yeah, let me ask you a question at this point.
Yes, please.
Uh, Actually, this is a basic question. What
Yes,
is
please.
difference between environmental management and sustainability management? Because
Uh,
we see there are also the courses like environmental management. Then why this sustainability management or like this is separate? Why it is not integrated?
Yeah, environmental management means you have to manage those disasters, and you have to manage all the environmental hazards. But sustainability refers that you are working on the improvement of the environment at a present day, but you are planning, and you are making or generating such type of policies that not only beneficial at the present time, but also beneficial for the future as well. So these programs are highly planned, and these are not beneficial. For instance, if you take the example of the construction purposes, so they are constructing a building at a time, and
Okay.
but they are thinking about the future as well. So they are using the sustainability. They are referring to the green buildings, like they will use the renewable energies, so that, and the hybrid systems of the electricity will be installed in that buildings, so that the maximum benefit to the electricity sector, or such type of the benefits to the environment. Or for instance, if in any office you are working in such a way that the paper which are using by the employees, they are recyclable. So it's one kind of the sustainability. We can do things, but it's a different pattern, it's a different kind, that how are you thinking, or you are thinking about the environment or not. So if you are a manager, and if you, for instance, you are a manager, and your task is to manage things. So for example, if there is a if there is a earthquake in your area, and you are an environmental manager, so at that time you are using the plans, rules, and policies of the environmental management. Okay, so you will
Okay.
install a immediate camp, in which you will segregate the people according to their age. Like, okay, it's the need of the infants, that, okay, I have to provide the milk for the infants, okay, I have to provide the medicines for the old people or for the injured people. Okay, so at that time you will manage, and at the same time you will manage the environment as well. And again, I want to give you another example of the oceans. It's been some time, we have heard that there is the oil spillage. So due to the oil spillage, the aquatic life will be at risk, and there will be a whole aquatic system will be at risk if there is a oil spill in the oceans at a large scale. So at that time we will call the marine specialists and the environmental managers. Okay, how can we manage these hazards as well? And nowadays people are really focusing on the sustainability. Okay, because they are thinking each and every work in regard of the sustainability. Okay, am
Right.
I clear to you? Okay,
Yep.
moving towards the next. You know that we are not working on such a day on sustainability, but in 1960s there this era is basically marked the initiation of the modern environmental movements with the events like Earth Day. These are the Earth
Right.
Day. These are such type of the days which are enhancing the awareness among the people about the environment. And again, here is the one thing which I want to tell you, that there is a huge difference between the environmental awareness of the people of the developing countries and the developed countries. Are you agree with me?
Yeah, 100% agree with you because resources are required to manage the things, and definitely in developing countries there are a lot of other challenges like economic instability, political instability, and when it comes to management of sustainability, definitely it is a combination of three sectors. So developing countries still working to overcome the challenges to fight with uh, economic problems, political instability, for education. So I believe that is the core reason for managing or ensuring sustainability in developing countries.
Yeah, absolutely right. People in the underdeveloping countries, they are just thinking about their food, shelter, and they're not thinking about the environment. They does not care about the environment because their basic needs are not fulfilled by the government or by their own circumstances. So how can they think about the environment? Okay.
So
So
it means that until developing countries are not changed to developed countries, this will be a big challenge to manage the sustainability of environment, right?
it is up to some extent, but still the developed countries are contributing to the environmental degradation. That there is a phenomena known as the climate change, and America, China, and Germany, and these type of the countries are on the top of the list in this phenomena, in this climate change effect. But these are the effects which are also faced by the whole world, in which both developed and underdeveloping countries are involved. These are countries are not contributing to the environmental degradation because they don't have the industries. Okay,
Right,
they don't have
right,
the yeah. So no, but but underdeveloping countries have if they are they can work to the environment by planting the trees. It's the cheapest mean of contributing towards the environment. Okay, so they can contribute towards the environment as well. All right.
right.
Okay, so if you see in that picture, you can see that as you can observe that the primary difference between the sustainable finance and the sustainability lies in the scope of the application of the sustainability. Okay, but this is a first glance. You can see that okay, the sustainability and finance are both not related to each other. At first glance it may seems that finances and the environment are not related. Okay, but however, environmental issues like climate change and the resource management are concerns for the tech firm as well. Okay, for example, crypto mining also consume the more energy than the entire country, such as different countries, for example, Argentina, in which most of the crypto minings occurs and use the more energy. And one of the things that the e-waste, e-waste is generated by the developed countries as compared to the underdeveloping countries. So in each and every perspective, the developed countries are responsible for this environmental degradation and for all the anthropogenic activities. And again, but you can see that green finance approaches, including funding for the projects such as renewable energy resources, carbon footprint reduction, waste management, and the recycling. If you see in this picture, you can say that sustainability means renewable use of the energy. Nowadays the solar energy is very much popular. Even people are using it at the household level. And next we have the carbon footprint reduction, in which a single individual can also contribute to the environment, to the improvement of the environment. For instance, if a person is utilizing more water in the daytime shower, if a person spend 30 minutes in shower, so it means they are not contributing to the environment and their carbon footprints is high. And if that person is depend on the meat, or if the person is eating three time meat in a week, it means their carbon footprint is high as compared to the that person who spent only 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, the 10 minutes are enough to take bath, or 15 minutes as compared to the 30 minutes. So the 30 minute person and a 15-minute person who's spending, their carbon footprints are low. The term carbon footprint means that you are what resources you are using and what you are giving to the environment. Okay, you got the carbon footprints. So you can there is a calculator on the Google internet, and you can calculate your carbon footprints yours by yourself. Okay, by the calculator will ask some questions from you, that how many liter of the water you approximately you are used in the shower, and how much meat you are utilizing per week or per month. Okay, so but if you are thinking about the environment, it's not about the level. You can work at the individual level, at the provincial level, at the national level, and at the international level. But if you are really true towards the environment, okay, but now people are only focusing on their own improvement, but not to the environment as well. Okay, and then we have the waste management and the recycling. Okay, here is another answer of your question, Mr. Aves, that the waste management means that if there is a solid waste management, there is if there is a solid waste management, it's a whole chapter which I have teach to the student in my previous course, in which they segregate the weight according to the paper waste, glass waste, and the waste of recycling. So that is also called the environmental management. Okay, so next we have the social responsibility.
Uh, how we will get this? Like this is my first lecture, and
Okay,
how I will get your previous lecture or like this?
actually, the recordings of all the lectures are present on the channel, and you can get it if you are added in the WhatsApp group. So you can listen all these recordings. So I am one of the trainer, and I'm just teaching you this unit. The next unit will be uh, uh, will be taught or will be taught by the another trainer. So different trainers, are assigned the different units as well. So these specialists will teach you, but you can get the previous lecture on the YouTube channel. Okay, if you ask
Okay.
in that group, in the WhatsApp group, that how can I get the previous recordings, so the HR manager will give you the links of that lecture, and you can hear it easily. So please don't worry, you can cope with the this course. And moreover, different trainers will give you the recap what we have teach to the students until now. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
welcome. So also this lecture is also recorded. This lecture is currently recording by the management, so they will also upload today or tomorrow. Okay,
Okay. Okay. All right.
so and at the same time we are we can work on the stock markets, bond markets. Okay, what is the bond? Okay, I will tell you in the next slide. What are how can we work in the bond markets, and how can we work in the derivative markets, and how can we work in the stock markets? And then we have the investment strategies. How can we invest in such a way that we can promote the environment in terms of the sustainability, including the portfolio management, risk assessment, asset allocation. And then we have the bank services. And I will tell you that how can a bank help in such a way that they can promote the environment. Okay. Okay. here is the slide in which I'm going to tell you that how these finances help in sustainable financing. So first of all is the green bond. Okay, focus on this only. The green bond means bonds issued specifically to finance the environmentally friendly projects. Okay, these are the bonds which are issued by the authorities only those projects which are environmental friendly, which is a huge favor. For instance, the World Bank issues the green bond to fund the renewable energy projects such as wind farms, solar power plants, or the sustainable water management initiative. So this is one of the biggest sustainable financing example. And then we have the sustainable linked loans. Okay, so this is again these type of the stock marketing or the banking. How can a bank help in improving the environment? The loans where the interest rate is linked to the borrower's sustainable performance. Okay, if your sustainability performance is high, your interest rate will be low. But this is the talking about the entire world. I'm not talking about the typical Muslim countries. Okay, I'm not going to in that debate. But this is I'm talking about internationally what's going on related to the sustainable finances. Okay, and a corporation, for example,
Means
this is
Pakistan, is there any example where this World Bank projects regarding sustainability are
uh,
being
you know
promoted or being financed by World Bank?
in Pakistan, basically there is an institute known as Environmental Protection Agency. That agency is basically designed by the government of the Pakistan, who is working regarding the environment and the sustainability. So that organization is particularly financed by the government by the tax of each and every common man. So this is only organization which is working at a this is a national organization, Environmental Protection Agency, and it is situated in Islamabad. I have personally visited that institute twice, and I also met with that lady known as Miss Farzana, who is working on different projects. And yeah, you can say that these the solar plants are working in the Pakistan for promoting the sustainability. They are using the sunlight, and again we have the dams. We are using the hydro energy, and we have the winds. I'm basically from the Pakistan, but I'm doing my PhD from Ireland, and I have personally experienced that how Pakistan is struggling due to the political instability. And although Pakistan has a lot of the potential to perform regarding at the economic level, or regarding the environmental level, people can work it. And in Pakistan, at different areas, even though in which area I'm living in, there is a 50,000 rupees fine in cutting the trees which are planted by the society. And I can tell you the names of the different areas in which there is a huge fine on cutting a single tree, even though if you are buying the house on a certain land in which there is a tree, so you are not allowed to cut that tree. You have to design your house in such a way that you have to make a proper place for that tree. Okay, so
But
moving.
even this EPA people, Environmental Protection Agency,
Yeah,
they are itself monitoring the activities which are not in the favor of environment.
yeah,
Means
absolutely true.
they are giving the license or number of the other permits uh, for
Yeah,
for the hazardous activities, like for example this burning of the tires, etc., which are contributing to the environmental degradation.
yeah, of
Even
course.
those people are belong to this department.
Yeah, yeah, they are responsible for doing the EIA and IEE before initiation of any single project. The project has to present a report before starting it, and they have to pass that EIA report, and after that they are working on it. But still, they are working on the different projects that they are promoting the sustainability. Okay.
Right. Yeah, but still it's required improvement. Even for example, when you are talking this EIA or IE, initial environmental examination or environmental
Yeah,
impact assessment. So
you are
who will
absolutely right.
authorized when someone is conducting this IEE or EIE? Are they competent to perform this? Because there are a number of the parties who are just doing this, and we even witnessed those activities that
Yeah,
these were monitoring was not by the competent person, just filling the
yeah.
form and then etc.
Yeah, it's a huge debate. There is, what I said in this online class. That people are working like that in Pakistan. They are not honest to their own job, and yeah, I agree with you. People just, get signed their project by giving some sort of, some sort of,
Yeah, reward system.
yeah, exactly. And but there are different projects. For example, solar power park in Bahawalpur, which is renewable energy, and there is another project which is known as the Jimpir Wind Power Plant. And in terms of the waste management, we have the Rawalpindi Waste Management Authorities, Lahore Waste Management Authorities, and each and every city has waste management authorities. And then we have the Indus River System Authority managing the water resources. They are also working on the environment as well. And there are also the WWF, which is situated in the red zone of the Pakistan near the High Court. It is working on and I have personally worked in that organization. And that organization is work for protecting the wildlife. So people are working, but if you are talking about the Pakistan in each and every sector, this is happening, and this is not about the environment. This is also happening in the education
Mm.
sector and the other sector. But this is a
Mm.
debate. So, but I have to cover all my slides in this lecture, and I have to teach you about the assessments as well. So, can I move towards the lecture?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay. So, moving towards the social bonds that raise the funds for the project with the positive social outcomes. Okay. These are the bonds which are signed between a bank and between those project leaders which are working with the positive social outcomes. For example, the African Development Bank issued the social bond to support the healthcare projects and infrastructure in underserved communities across the Africa. Africa is also the underdeveloping countries, but still they are working up to some extent. Moving towards the next slide, sustainable finances. Okay. Also, what is the meaning of the green finance? They
No,
refers to the
sorry, I am again asking you a question regarding this sustainable finance.
yeah,
You
yes,
are
please.
this regarding these bonds. This will be issued to the project owner who will continue the construction and as well as he will contribute to the sustainability or environment as well, right? Then bank will
Yeah,
issue him some finance with zero interest
yeah.
rate or what.
Yeah, but that leader have to explain that how my project, if I have completed that industry. For example, if a person who want to install a paper industry or the plastic industry, so they have to explain their entire strategy, that how this project will work and how this project is sustainable and how this project is beneficial for the society and how this project is contributing towards the improvement of the environment. But that bank will do the check and balance. They are taking the steps, like they will inspect the such projects, or either the material which is using in building such type of industry is environmental friendly or is recyclable or is authentic for the environment or not. Okay. So they have
Right,
to
right.
explain it, and they will not give you the money blindly, but they will do some sort of monitoring and evaluation process. Okay.
Okay, okay, all right.
So, they refers to green finance, they refers to the financial products and the services designed to the fund environmentally friendly project. And the sustainable finance means investment decisions are made taken considering the ESG factors. And their focus is on addressing the environmental challenges. These are global warming, the greenhouse effect, the solid waste, and the e-waste, and the climate change, floods. These are all the environmental challenges. So their focus is to address the challenges, and the one of the biggest challenge to the world environmental challenge is the climate change and the carbon footprints and the emission of the carbons. The carbon dioxide is directly linked with the climate change. The carbon dioxide basically increase the temperature of the atmosphere, and it ultimately led to the process of the global warming and the greenhouse effect, and which are leading to the concept or to the this climate change. And its aim in promoting the sustainable and the responsible for the investment practices. So what are their goal? Their goal is to reduce the greenhouse emissions and mitigate the climate change. So whenever you google the what are the main environmental challenges, the climate change will be on the top of the list. And then we have to mitigate the climate change, and we have to meet the investors, and we have to demand, we means the environmentalists. Okay, for me, each and every student of my class is a environmentalist. Okay, so this is all about the environment, so that enhance the corporate social responsibility. So these are the three pillars of the sustainable finance, in which you can see that corporate social responsibility means the corporate activities that contribute to the sustainable finances. These are the one of the pillar. The second, we have the sustainable and the responsible investing. In it means that investor basically have to support such type of the companies or the projects which are working sustainability on sustainability. And the third pillar is the ESG, the environmental, social, and governance. This is basically a criteria to measure the impact of the investments and the businesses. When you are give such type of the loans or the green bonds, so then you are worked, and you are evaluating by adopting such type of criteria that either this project is working or. So this is a sustainable finance structure in which you have to enhance the decision making power. If a person who is thinking about the environment, and then they will take, or that person or the leader will take the decision, so that they will take a step to the sustainable financing. Otherwise, different people does not care about the environment. So basically, this green finance is approaching towards funding such type of the projects, such that are using the energy efficiency or the pollution control, or the eco-conscious companies that perform their performance depend upon the sustainability things. And then we have that either these projects will be designed in a long-term cost saving and the efficiencies as well. Okay, this is the criteria of sustainability finance. So the three criterias have been formulated to assess whether an operation or the investment is sustainable or just it's a greenwash. So first of all is intentionally. Investors aims to make a positive sustainability impact through their investments. So first of all, either that person or the investor is intended to work on the sustainability or not. The second, we have the return, that the companies pursue the profit, investors demands, and financial returns. Okay, either they are returning in at such a exponential level, or they are returning to the environment, or they are returning to such type of the banks, or not. And then we have the measurability, in which the sustainability impacts should be verifiable and measurable. Mr. Ravas, this is the pillar, and this is the
Yes,
criteria,
yes.
the step three, which is measurability, which is very important. Next, we have the sustainable finance taxonomies, in which it's a mean that classification of a list of the economic activities that are considered environmentally sustainable for the investment purpose. If you are investing a project, so it means you have to give a list of the activities that are that are contributing, that are beneficial for the economics of that particular country and for the environment as well. So is a person who went to the certain authority, like who went to the uh, finance minister, or who went to the banks, that okay, I want to initiate this project, and this is the list of the sustainable activities which will beneficial for the economic of our country and for the environment of our country, only then they will get
Can you
some
give
sort.
some example of activities
Yeah,
regarding the
I will.
sustainability
Yeah,
risk?
of course, I will give you the example of the 10 companies in the upcoming slides, that how they are working sustainably on the sustainability level, and how they are working to the economically level. Okay, but it will be
Okay.
in the next slide. But I have to tell you that how you have to solve such type of the assessments, which is very important for you. These assessments are mandatory for you people. You have to solve this assessment. Okay, give me 1 minute. I want to show you the assessment in Word form. I'm just opening that folder because you are new to the class, and I want to uh, show you that this type of assessment you have to fill it. So I have to explain that how can you fill that, but it's very easy. Don't worry about that. You can get more guidelines from the HR manager. So I will show
All
you
right.
sustainable. Yes, I have to change my. Yeah, is this visible to you?
Yes, yes, it is
Yeah,
visible.
assessment marking sheet, level 7 diploma in environmental. Yeah, it is one of the optional uh sheet. You can, so in this sheet you have to write here your name and your registration number, and then final result will be here. But I'm just a trainer, I will train you, and this will be checked by the certain examiner as well. And then these are the learning outcomes which they are you know uh, I want to highlight. These are the learning outcomes which they are expecting that you will understand such things. And these are the questions you have to answer on a word, in the word form. You have to take first question, that identify the existing trends and the development within the financial industry related to the sustainability. You have to just copy it, this question, and you have to answer this question, and then you have to copy the another question, and you have to paste below, or at that, or you can answer here, as well. You can answer here. Okay, you can write your answer here, or you can write the answer, uh, and you have to solve all these four questions. So only then you will get the passing certificates. And but don't worry, these assessments are very easy. If you find, you don't be scared. If you have any difficulty regarding this assessment, you can directly contact with Mr. Asif. He is very helping man, and he will help you. And don't worry about that. Okay.
All right, all right. I was just getting the idea that,
Yeah.
when you are working at some such responsible position, you
Yeah.
have to get the idea to explain to someone or
Yeah.
like this.
So signature, print name. By signing this form, you also confirm that you are working with. Yeah, this is for the authority. Okay, this is for the assessor. This section is for assessor, and you have to perform. Okay, so moving towards the slides, I'm going to change the window. Okay, so first learning outcome which assessor wanted, that you can understand the relevancy of the financial industry to the sustainability across different financial instrument and the asset class. So identifying the existing trends and the development within the financial industry related to the sustainability is the first question. That how can you identify? You can just simply search it on the Google or on the different search engines, and you have to answer it in your own words. Okay, you can't copy that directly from the Google. It will result in plagiarism. Okay. And
Okay.
second, we have you can outline the ecosystem of the ESG finances. Okay, I will tell you the ecosystem of the ESG. I have designed my lecture in such a way that I have pasted question number one, and I just give you some sort of guidelines. Okay, not the whole guideline, but some guidelines, so that whenever you fill this assessment, and these guidelines will be helpful for you. Then I will discuss in the next slide that what is meant by the ecosystem of the ESG finances. Then we have the explain the role and the structure of the financial institution and the financial services industries. Then we have the analyze how the financial services industries facilitates the sustainable commercial activities. Okay, this is the first learning outcome of your assessment. So moving towards the sustainability within the financial industry, which is related to your question number one, that how is it? So, in the recent year, there has been a significant momentum around the sustainability in the financial industry, mainly driven by the government, social environment factors as well. So, what are the key trends in it? The first one is rise of ESG investment. So, basically, ESG means whenever a person asks from you that okay, you are environmental manager, okay, or you are environmental environmentalist, you are a HS officer. So what is meant by ESG? So you will answer them that ESG means you are working in the integration of the environment, social or society, and the governance. So basically, ESG consideration are now central to the investment decisions, and uh, it basically helps the investor to increasingly demand that companies align with the sustainable practices, pushing the asset manager to integrate the ESG matrices into their portfolio. And then we have the green bonds and the sustainability linked bonds. It's very one of the interesting point. And which is which is very easy for a person who directly you can answer by giving that directly these. Okay, there are the certain type of the sustainability linked bonds and the green bonds. These type of the bonds are assigned by the industries, so they can work fine as sustainability. Then we have the sustainable finance regulation, in which government and the regulatory bodies are the legislation bodies. The legislatory bodies are introducing the framework and the policies to standardize the sustainable finances practices. The European Union, for example, the European Union Sustainable Finance Disclosure Regulation is one of the examples, setting up the mandatory sustainable finances disclosure for the finances market participant. Okay, you can give the example in that question as well, that which is in European Union sustainable finances. And then we have the climate risk assessment, in which the financial institutions are increasingly required to evaluate and disclose their exposure to the climate related risk. So basically, this is driven by the both regulatory pressure and the growing recognition of the climate risk as a financial risk. Then we have the carbon pricing and emission trading. So financial institutions are participating more actively in the carbon markets, supporting the transitions to the low carbon economics through the carbon pricing mechanism and the emission trading scheme. So here is another example that some sort of the fine has been fined by to the certain industry, that if this such type of the permits issues to the industry, that if your emission level exceeds from this limit, you have to pay to the government. So this is one of also the sustainable finances. So the that company will have to pay to the government as well. And then we have the technological innovations, in which you can take the example of the AI. AI is basically enabling the more efficient ESG data. And if I want to collect the environment or the sustainable financing data, I can collect it, analyze it, and report it, uh, providing the new tool for the sustainable investment strategies and the portfolio monitoring. And then I have you can build a small headings, and you can headings of this, and you can answer your questions. So this is the ecosystem of ESG financing, in which we have the regulators and policymakers, investors, rating agencies and data providers, financial institutions, NGOs and advocacy groups, consumers, and the public opinion. So the regulatory and the policy makers, what are their role? They basically set the guidelines for the disclosure, reporting, and the integration of the ESG factors into the financial decisions. And for example, what are the key players in this ecosystem? Ecosystem means a system in which each and every body is working. So, what are the key players, or what are the main parts of this ESG? For example, the European Union, government agencies, central banks, are the certain type of international bodies like Environmental Union, RTCFTs. These are the international bodies which are you can say that are the policymakers, and the World Bank as well. Then we have the investors. These include institution investors such as pension funds, mutual funds, and the retail investors who are increasingly demanding the ESG aligned products and the practices. And then we have the rating agencies and the data providers. So basically, data providers, you can easily extract the data from the AI, and you can get the data from the previous the previous catalog as well. And then we have the NGOs which are working and the advocacy groups. These organizations often hold the corporation accountable for their ESG practices, for the highest standard of these are working for the highest standard of the transparency and the corporate responsibility. And at the end, we have the consumer and the public opinion. The public awareness and the consumer preferences for the sustainability drive the demands for the ESG aligned product and influence the corporate behavior. So this is the entire ecosystem of the ESG finances. You can highlight all these points in your answer. So moving towards the next question, that how you understand the physical and the transition risk, particularly those related to the climate change, translate to the financial risk, and how this is managed by the financial organization and the central banks. So basically, in that question, you have to identify the different types of regulatory instruments and their use. You have to describe the role of the central banks, and you can mention the World Banks and the other banks, and the regulatory environment surrounding the sustainable finance. Explain the meaning of the sustainable finance using the existing taxonomy. The taxonomy means the hierarchy, are the list of the activities. I have mentioned in the previous slide that the taxonomy means you have to give the list that by this activity I will get the this benefit to the environment. Okay, and assess why the sustainable finance is of the interest to the lenders and the borrowers. Okay, why the banks are giving the loans, and why the borrower is borrowing such type of the huge money. Okay, you have to give the sustainable finance is of interest, either that both parties are mutually agree with each other or not. And then we have to critically examine the range of the risks to which the financial organization are exposed in a sustainable finance context. So the meaning of sustainable finances using the existing taxonomy, sustainable finance refers promoting the long-term sustainability alongside economic growth. It addresses the financing of the projects that contribute to the sustainable development goals. There is a list of the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. and mitigate the negative impacts such as the climate change. So, according to the Environmental Union, the taxonomy for the sustainable activities, sustainable finance is defined by the following principles. So, what are the principles? Basically, the financial activities must be substantially contributed to at least one of these six environmental objectives. The first one is climate change mitigation. The climate change is one of the biggest environmental challenge. So you have to give the reason that how your activities or how your project is help in mitigating the climate change, and how this project and how this industry adapting to the climate change. What are the sustainable use of the water resources, and is the transition to a circular economy, and how can you prevent the pollution, and how can you control the emissions and the carbon footprints, and how can you protect the biodiversity, which include the animal and the plants and all the organisms including the human beings. It means you have to give the reasons that how and what is your plan for protecting the flora and fauna, including the flora means all the plants, and fauna means all the living organisms, including human beings.
Can you explain this regarding circular economy?
Yeah,
What?
the circular economy means that you have to formulate such type of the activities in which the you have to benefit the economy as well, and you have to benefit to the environment as well. Okay.
Okay. So this is a new concept in sustainability.
Yeah, this is
Hmm.
this is one of the new concept in which circular economy that basically aims to reduce the waste, reduction of the waste, and the promotion of the sustainable consumption and regenerate the natural resources. So I can tell you that you can design a plan in such a way that it is in the form of the closed loop. Okay, that if a starting material of a thing is working for the raw material. Okay, for example, if you can say that if your end product has some sort of byproduct, the extra product. So this is one of called a closed circle. So that the end product will also contribute as a raw material or as a first step. It's the form of the circle, a cycle. Okay, I want to explain this question more. That, for example, if you are starting a process in which you would need some sort of raw material, and then you have to manufacture it, and then you have to go through that raw material through a certain process, and it results in some sort of product. But that product are the byproduct of, and at the same time there is a byproduct along with that product. So that byproduct will act as a raw material. So that's the form of the circular economy. Okay. So for that, I can give you an example. For example, IKEA furniture. Okay, in IKEA
Okay.
furniture is one of the company in which they are the leftover will work as a raw material for the other products. So it means that there is no need to cut off the more and more trees. Okay, so moving
Okay.
towards the next slide. That the green financial instruments. That what are the green financial instruments? These are some sort of the bonds and the loans. And what is the key criteria? That it must have a positive impact on the environment, and it basically reduce the carbon emissions and protects the biodiversity. And then we have the green bonds and the green loans as well. Then we have the green certification standards. It means that financial instruments are often verified by the third parties to ensure that they meet the environmental standards. For example, Climate Bond Initiative, Green Bond Initiative, and the European Union Green Taxonomy. And then we have the green funds, in which means that investment funds that focus on the companies with the strong environmental performance and that operate in a sector such as clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and the water conservation. Then we have the next question in which you have to identify the key stakeholders. Key stakeholders, you can also tell me the stakeholders in which the policymakers. the people, that industrialists, environmentalists, journalists. These are all the stakeholders in sustainable markets and also the businessmen as well. Can you please add 2 to 3 more stakeholders in it? What are the key stakeholders in environmental sustainable market?
You can say the your consumer, your customers,
Yeah,
or
absolutely right. Each and every person which is linked to that thing is known as a stakeholder. Okay. So then next question we have the categories that range of the sustainable financial products and activities covered by the umbrella term sustainable financing, and describe the most used sustainable debt and equity instrument. Okay, it's mean that you have to treat each and every person or each and every institute equally. Okay, sometimes you have to face the discrimination. Okay, yeah, or you have to, at different countries people face the favoritism as well. But we have when we want to work on the sustainability, we have to treat each and every institute and each and every person who a common man who wants to install an industry. He can approach to the authoritative body, and again that authority will treat them equally as they are treating their one of their regular investors. Okay, and you have to in next question you have to explain what the green means in financial instrument and products, so which is answered in this slide. What are the green financial instruments? Okay, what are the key criteria? What are the green certification standards? Okay, and next we have the critically analysis the mechanics of the carbon markets and their use. So basically in this we have to mention the carbon those such type of the projects or such type of the stock markets which are working in reduction of the carbon footprints and in the emissions of the carbon footprints. Okay, so this is again the ESG rating, and in which first I will discuss this sheet. Um, Understand the value and the use of the ESG rating and the labels. So what is ESG rating and its difference, and its credit rating and its compare and differentiation from the ESG data, ESG KPI and ESG rating. So all these questions I will cover in my next slide. So explain why the ESG rating of the same company published by the different ESG rating providers and may be vastly different using the ESG rating categorization methodologies, and analyze the ESG rating results and compare the ESG rating results of different companies. Okay. For this question, I have enlisted the list of the companies and I have to give you a example, a pseudo example as well. Okay. So first of all, what is an ESG rating? It's basically an ESG rating evaluates a company's performance and exposure to the ESG risks such as environmental sustainability, social responsibility, and the governance practices. And their focus is they have to assess the non-financial risk and sustainable impacts. So what is a credit rating? You can answer this question, question number 4, by incorporating all these things. Okay, so what is credit rating? It's mean a credit rating assesses a company ability to repay the debt and the likelihood of the default, and its focus is to evaluate the financial health, solvency, and the risk of the bankruptcy. Okay, this is one of the main risk. And either they are investing a loan in such a project or in such an industry that has a chance or that has a risk of bankruptcy. Okay, then we have the key difference we have to focus, or yeah, there's this question that what are the key differences. So we have the ESG ratings and the credit ratings. What is the difference between these two? So basically the ESG rating focus on sustainability and corporate responsibility, but the credit rating focus on financial risk and the debt payment. Okay, then we have the stakeholder interest. The ESG, excuse me, the ESG rating are important for the investors' interest in sustainability. Credit rating are crucial for the lenders and the debt investors assessing the financial risk. Okay, then again we have some sort of
so who will define this ESG rating? Means who will issue this rating?
obviously this ESG rating will be issued by some sort of inspection teams who will inspect it and who will give the ESG rating and the financial rating. Okay, that the ESG rating of this project is like, okay, okay, I will tell you the one thing, that if you see this slide, okay, the example of the ESG rating from the different providers. For example, we have a company A and we have a company B, and I have okay, or the World Bank give or assign the team. They will inspect that ESG rating. So, for example, if they inspect two companies, their task is to inspect the two companies. So they went for the inspection. So they will listen all the plans and they will see by their own eyes either the material and everything is sustainable, or either their activities are sustainable. So they will give some sort of marks. For example, if their marks for company A has the marks 34 out of 10, it means their ESG rating is moderate. And if the company B has the 20 over 10, it means their ESG rating is low. Okay. All right. The inspection team will went and gives the ESG rating. Okay.
Is
Uh,
there any example of this ESG rating in Pakistan, or this is just internationally practiced?
uh, Yeah, of course. This is, I have give you the pseudo example, but I'm not specifically know about the Pakistan, but I can give you the example internationally because whenever you will talk, there are some sort of international companies are highlighting that the ESG rating of this company is this. But when we talk about Pakistan, then we have some sort of projects like, let me think. Uh, we have Ministry of Climate Change. This is one of the Ministry of Climate Change, and I personally attended the conferences as well. The ESG rating will be given by the Ministry of Climate Change, or you can say that. Um, I'm not, I don't have any name of a certain organization or the certain project, but I will search it and I will tell you in the next session, okay, or
Okay,
in the next upcoming class. So because I don't want to give you the wrong information, so okay.
okay, thank you.
So this is the question, this is the answer of the question number 4. You can utilize this slide as well, okay, this slide. Okay, what are the factors affecting the rating. So their main focus on the governance factor are some score for the companies, and either they are emphasizing the environmental risk, and you can give your answer like this, okay, for example, with giving the examples as well. And this slide, I have discussed this slide. Okay, uh, these are the certain things which are mentioned in your questions. What are the KPIs? And it basically, the key performance indicator is the KPI, which means the specific matrices used to evaluate the company performances and factors as well. And then we have again the same thing, the ESG rating and the comparison between the KPI rating and the data. So basically, the data information collected from the companies, and the KPI basically specifies the matrices used to access how the companies perform, on ESG factors. And then we have the rating, a third party assessment translating the data and KPIs uh, into an overall ESG scores. Okay, KPI means the key performance indicator. What are the key performance? So by assessing the KPIs, the rating will be given to that company. Okay, so these are the real life examples in which you can see that aspiration and Downing Tricard and the Starling Banks, Triodos Bank, and Stripe, Almond, Thread, and Slim Invest and the Tree. These are the companies which are currently working on sustainable financing. So first of all, aspiration. Okay, the aspiration is basically a challenger bank. Okay, in US that shows how the environmental companies can make a significant positive impact, and its core value includes the funding the green projects to save the environment and avoiding the investments in oil corporations that harm the climate. Because the US is always obsessed with the oil related activities. So the aspiration is basically worked on a sustainable and environmental perspective. So each time a consumer make a purchase, aspiration rounds up the amount and direct this fund to plant a tree. This is one of very sustainable too. You can search it on the internet about all these companies as well, and you will see that how these are working for the environment and for the sustainable finance.
All right.
With this initiative, this company aims to plant 100 million trees and remove the millions of the pounds of the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide directly linked to the climate change. So trees basically utilize the carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis and give us oxygen. Okay. Next, we have the Dawning. Dawning is basically a UK-based sustainable investment managing platform that focus on renewable energy, and with over 25,000 investors on board, which invest almost 1.9 million in assets under the management. So basically, this Dawning company, what they do, the Dawning company helps the businesses worldwide get finances for their green finance initiative. Okay, it's a UK base, and then we have the Tree Card. The Tree Card is a fintech startup targeting the European clients, and the Tree Card offers 2 years the point of the ethical purchases, and this company focuses on reducing the plastic use and promote the reforestation. So basically, the Tree Card emphasizing on recycling the plastic and emphasizing on the such type of addressing the issues, and they are they give the funds to those companies which want to initiate some small startups. Then we have the Starlink Bank. Starlink Bank is basically excuse me. According to the Independent Service Quality Services, the Starlink Bank is one of the examples of the fintech companies that lead the US market to the green and the more green and environment friendly country. It has potential. Or that Starling Bank is basically a US based bank, and it worked on why the US is working as compared to the other countries, because US is on the top of the list in contributing to the climate change, to the contribution of the environment. You can search it on the internet, and the China and the Germany and the yeah, these are the countries, the top three countries, and the bank is basically this bank is basically branchless bank. One of the interesting facts about this bank, it's a branchless, it's the paperless, and operate only on the renewable energies. And it was also the first in the country to launch the debit card made from the recycled plastic. Additionally, together with the other top fintech companies, this bank joined the Tech Zero Task Force to help to cut the carbon emissions. You know, work from home and the online working. It's also promoting for this environment as well. Then we have the Triodos Bank. Is basically another a UK-based green fintech company which work on the basically they are working on the financing such type of the projects which it gives the sustainability or which gives the environmental benefits. Then we have the Stripe is an online payment processing company. The paper money. Why different countries are replacing the paper money? Because it's the we have to use the paper. We have to cut the several trees for making the paper. So paper monies and the paper are now recycling, and people are moving towards the digital things and these apps for transferring the cash. It launched basically, this Stripe is basically launched the Stripe Climate to let all the ambitious businesses do their part in making the planet more climate friendly. Then we have the N2, this company. It's basically a digital bank based in Germany. You know, why is Germany taking the step? Because whenever certain agreements like Paris Agreement, which is one of the famous environmental agreement, in which all the representatives from the each and every company have to represent their own country. So they must have to give such type of examples. Okay, in my country is doing this thing in favor of the environment. Okay, so this bank is basically uh, Germany based bank. Then we have the TRED. TRED is basically a green business account, which is also again a UK based bank. Then we have the CLIM. CLIM 8 is basically the name, is a sustainable financing company that invested in such type of the projects which promote the renewable energy and sustainable future. And this is basically working under the United Nations Paris Climate Agreement and focusing on these goals which are signed in this agreement, which was situated in the Paris. Then next we have the Trine. Trine is basically a Swedish company. Okay, Swedish. It means it's situated in the Sweden. Allows the customer to earn a profit while making a social and environmental impact. So uh, these are the real lifetime examples which are, working internationally. These are the organizations which are working currently internationally. So moving towards the conclusion,
Sorry, this Almond, is this also a bank? In,
Alman, no, it's a company. Alman is a company. Okay. Uh, Once again, Alman is a company which is working on. One second, please. Yeah, it's a digital bank in Germany, N216. It's basically commonly known as N26, and it's a
oh,
Germany-based company. Okay,
okay.
and then we have moving towards the conclusion. In conclusion, I want to say that sustainable finance is basically crucial for the companies seeking to adopt the sustainable practices and contributed to the sustainable development. It involves the environment, society, and the governance. All these factors which make any investment decision in such a way that they can give the environmental benefits, but that benefits for the companies include the increased profit as well. So, finance departments are critically in supporting the sustainability efforts by reporting accurately, establishing the sustainability goal, and promote the sustainable investments. So, with the future of the sustainable finance looking bright and a growing recognition of its importance, so companies that adopt the sustainable finances practices will be better positions to thrive in in such a rapidly changing world. So that's it from my side, and I want to say thank you to all the participants for listening the session, and hope so that you really enjoy it. And thank you all the students for being with me for all this session, and especially I want to thank Mr. Avas for so much interactive, for being a so much interactive participant. I really enjoy this session because I really feel glad whenever such type of participant asks the questions, because it means that I'm talking to the persons. I'm not talking blindly. So it's really, I really like the interactive sections, and by doing such type of interactive section, I also feel happy because Sometimes I thought the students are just, sleeping
Yeah.
and
Mm.
just started the session and just they are sleeping. But I'm really glad that I have one of very interactive participant in my sessions. So I hope you enjoyed this topic, sustainable finance. And if you have any questions, you can ask it after the class in the WhatsApp group, or whatever you feel the ambiguity. And if you want to give your feedback, you can give your feedback in the WhatsApp group. Okay, okay, I really enjoy the session. I really get the grip on this topic. I really now before the session and after the session, I felt that okay, I have the grip on the sustainable finance. So this is so I more you are more than welcome to give your feedback. So it's me, Hina Imtiaz. I'm going to say bye bye to you. Okay, all the participants, bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay.